I don't know if he failed any or not. I can't say for sure.
No, well, he went to Baltimore after that, right?
Well, he went to Detroit and then went to Baltimore.
Okay. Well, either way, he was a hefty fella. And he does show up, looking at with, these weight clauses, Delman Young, he does show up in the postseason. And it's kind of the same thing with Kung Fu Panda. These guys, they have their weight clauses, but they seem to make them work out come postseason time. During the regular season, you can't really count on them for anything.
Well, they're not all skin and bones. They got so much extra stamina over the course of a long season.
That was John Lieber. That was his theory on being an overweight pitcher, is that they have, they can withstand the rigors of a 162-game season versus a pitcher like, a Tom Glavine or Greg Maddux who's, not really hefty. And
right.
That's why they break down late in the season and then in the postseason.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, up in the air. I mean, Joe Bland, look at him. He's still, I guess, chugging along somewhere in the league. You got guys out there that kind of can manage, being a heftier guy, but I really don't think that plays anything into, the actual performance of these pitchers and whether or not they're able to last.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
It's one fat man's theory, okay? It sounds like a great excuse to me.
Yeah, it's just an excuse to be fat, is what it is. And I can't blame them. I admire that, and I make the same excuses as well. Like, I make the excuse, well, I don't live in Miami, so I don't really need a beach body. And so I can go the rest of the year without working out and have trouble sleeping with, sleep apnea type qualities.
Bob, you need to work on your life choices, my friend.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You need to make a commitment to excellence, sir.
Yeah, if I could look like Mark Davis, that'd be awesome. But looking at the, with the two World Series teams, Kansas City and San Fran, which team do you think has the better chance of getting back, or do you think either one of them have a chance of getting back? Because the Giants tend to miss the playoffs after they win a World Series.
Yeah, no, they do tend to do that. I think a lot of times what kind of hurts with a lot of that is, the reshaping of the club after, a team wins the World Series. Because, excuse me, a lot of that, I think, when it comes down to, free agents and things like that, you end up making a lot of, taking a lot of losses and a lot of hits because you just can't afford to keep everybody, keep everybody around. So I think, when it comes to San Francisco, they still probably have a pretty good chance. They do have quite a few free agents in terms of, Jake Peavy, Ryan Vogelsong, and then also Pablo Sandoval, Michael Morse, Sergio Romo. Those are all pretty big names and pretty big pieces, and contributors to this team's success over the last several years. But, Brian Sabian's always been a pretty wise guy, so I think he's going to be able to figure out, a way to kind of piece things together and get things straightened out right now. I think, you'll still have Baumgartner there. You'll have Kane, who will hopefully be back. You'll have Tim Hudson. I think Yasmiro Petit, he's probably looking to move into the rotation full-time now. So, and don't forget about Tim Lincecum. I just don't think that he's guaranteed a starting rotation spot. But when you look at it, I would definitely say that San Francisco, even though Kansas City has youth on their side, I think a lot of that, maybe not, when it was necessarily a fluke, but when it comes down to, being able to make it again to the World Series, I think that's going to be, a tough feat for them. A team, considering the fact that they're so young. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, I would say Brian Sabian and the San Francisco Giants have the best chance to make it back.
Kansas City, what do you think it is about teams that, make long playoff runs and then the next season they're just not the same? And the trouble with repeating in this day and age. Do you think it's actually free agency, or do you think that my theory is the bullpen? Look at Kansas City. They just, as soon as it got to the sixth inning, they just went straight to their bullpen.
Shortened games. Every game was shortened because of those guys.
exactly. But when the next season comes around, the bullpen's still shot from the end of last season. And do you see, that being the problem, the bullpen just not coming back as strong the next year because a lot of the teams that win or get to the World Series are bullpen strong? Or is there another? Do you think free agency is actually the factor?
No, I think free agency might hurt them in particular with the loss of James Shields. That's going to be a guy they're going to have to find somebody to eat those innings. And even though he didn't necessarily show up in the playoffs, he was always there when it came to the regular season. That was a guy who was going to be able to throw every game for you every 5 days and would go out there and give you a quality start for the most part. So, being able to replace him, that's going to be a big task right now for Dayton Moore. We'll find out, what route they look to take there. But, in terms of the bullpen thing, that's a lot of times, it's just being able to manage that. You know what I mean? And so, sure, they threw a lot of innings. I think their bullpen will probably come back. They all have pretty good track records, but bullpens are super fluky. And the other thing too you need to think about is the direction offense is taken in the major leagues. You pretty much don't see any right-handed power anymore, and a lot of the guys that do have the powers are primarily lefties. And so it's just trying to figure out, the guys that can hit the fly balls, and hit the home runs, or basically the 3 true outcome hitters. Those guys are going to become a little bit more rare, but you still need them in the game somewhere. It's a guy to get some of those sac flies, hopefully get some power, and that's why guys like Billy Butler, have added value because they're able to do that. But in overall, you're going to see a lot of copycats. I think in terms of people trying to add speed and maybe see the game shift a little bit more towards that and being a little bit more aggressive. But there's still a ton of strikeouts, man. And so it's just putting that ball in play and finding guys that can put the ball in play has pretty much been the way offense, at least successful ones have been able to do well.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take our first break here on the Bob Sullivan Show on LateNightSportsRadio.com. If you want to call in after the break, the call number is 585-633-7487. You're listening to the Bob Sullivan Show here on LateNightSportsRadio.com.
Something shines in your eyes tonight. Maybe there's no need to lie tonight. I see your lips out on fire. Oh baby, I want you to be mine. Catch me, baby, I'm waiting for you. So come on, break the rules. The time is right, the time's tonight. Let it start and you won't stop. Let it start and I won't stop.
lost or found love, lying by your side. Take another second to keep breathing in the moment before it's gone. You never know when love is lost until you find just what it costs to be wrong. I wonder if you think of me passing by, you think you see me coming. I wonder if you pull me in, kiss me just one time again. Cause in the final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side. Cause in the final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side. Days will keep on coming and the nights will keep on going till they're tired. Falling fast asleep and as they dream of ghosts of beats filled with desire. The trance of life is all around, a chance to take is always found. Oh, writing on the lullabies on the lonely living life. Oh, in the final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side. In the final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side. Take another second to keep breathing in the moment before it's gone. Never know when love is lost until you find just what it costs to be wrong. I wonder if you think of me passing by, you think you see me coming. I wonder if you pull me in, kiss me just one time again. The final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side. In the final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side. In the final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side. In the final hours of night, do you remember? Lost or found love, lying by your side.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.